What if I told you that most of us are not really free? That we live in a system designed to keep us trapped? My name is David Gowen. It's February 20 of 2025, and this is the third episode of the Luna Foundation. Breaking the chains and learning to be free. Why is that? Because that's what I've been up to for a long time. I realized how sick I am, and I tried to identify that sickness, and I realized that I am not the only one. And actually, it's hard to find people that it's not as sick as I am. So let's talk about it. For a long time now, I have a bad trigger with college advertisements because when I see those ads saying study with us and be someone in the future, and they promise us that we will be doctors and that we will be lawyers and we will have money and social credit as credibility within the others. This is their promise, and I saw that that's not a reality. First, that I saw that I don't want that what they are promised. I don't want to be a lawyer or a doctor because of the social credit that it will grant me. And every time that I see people fighting for the social credit, I see those birds that they try to find beautiful rocks and beautiful flowers to build their nests so that they can attract females to mate. For me, that's it. I remember one time that I was going through a very depressive phase, and I was just out of school. I wasn't in the mood or the mental health to finish my high school, so I just dropped it to finish later. And it was the best thing that I did in my life. And this person that it was actually paying the school for me, so it was a private school from the beginning. In the end, I got a scholarship because I was a good student. But she came to me when I was taking that decision and she asked me that, David, don't you want to be something? And that triggers me till this day because I really thought that I was something back there. With my 16 years old, I really thought that I already built my character and I was enjoying that character even though I was sick. I had a discovery moment that I built my character and I like it, you know, and there was something. And she asked me if I didn't want to be something in my life. And I felt unappreciated, you know, only because I don't have her degree or her house or her car, you know, because I'm not as socially important as she is. That's why she is greater than me. and that she can ask if I want to be something in my life like she is. She is something. She's great. She has a great character, but I do too. And I think that I always had. Even when I was building my character, I was something. And even before I wasn't here, I was something. I am built. Everything I am is based and it is built over my intellectual values. So my arm, if I lose my arm, if I lose my legs, even if I lose all my body and my head, if I have this, I will have my intellectual values, and that's me. That's David. And I am trying to export this to you guys. And what I am trying to say here is that society is sick. What is being sick? Being sick is when you have and you act or have a symptom when you act some way, like you have a fever and your body acts in a way that it's not good for you. And this definition of good or bad, it's very complex, but it doesn't bring anything good for you. For example, depression, it's for sure bad in a way, because you are just not useful, and we need to be useful for the others, because we did come here to this world for the others, not for ourselves. But depression is good in a way because we rest, and we if we have the support, we just protect ourselves from this sick world that we have, that tends to build this illusionary framework that we created for basically procreation. That's what Freud said. That's everything we do, it's about procreation and survival, I add. So if you want a better house, if you want a better car, or a better position in your society, it's all about the spreading of your kids, your family, your kids. It's all about the continuity of the human species, and we are more than that. Well, humankind is not more than that. Humankind, it's just that. But we could be more than that. We could be more than that. We could be more than just humans. But for now, we are just that, and we need to live with that, and we need to surpass that. And this is the beginning of trying to surpass that. And the first step to be more than human is visualizing what being human is, for us to be more than that. So all this framework that we built over these years as humans to procreate and survive, well, we already won this race of spreading our kind and surviving. We are on another we have another goal now, that it is to go beyond, the survival. And for me, the word that describes this phase is consciousness. Consciousness not as a singularity, but as a concept that of understanding. When you understand something, you have consciousness over that thing. When you understand a matrix, that matrix being anything at all, it could be politics, it could be freedom, it could be how your hand is made, your pelt, your fingers, your nails. This is consciousness. And we need to keep building consciousness. We need to keep spreading consciousness, and we need to see that we are the first to achieve this level of consciousness, this level of understanding about reality as it is. We are the beings that most understand complex matrices, and I really think that we are not the only ones. I'm not talking about aliens. I'm talking about life. I'm talking about cats and dogs and whales. I'm talking about life as we see here on Earth. Consciousness, they have their kind of consciousness too. Humankind is nothing more than an an animal kind that got civilized, and they have consciousness over things that other animals don't have. And it's all about this. It's all about the prefrontal cortex. And we can see that we are still worshiping and we're still spreading a primitive framework that it is this search for social credibility and position, that this was meant for survival, that was meant for us to thrive, to try to be more, to produce more, that attraction that we make through wars, that make us more productive and united. But we don't need to have this framework to be productive and united, because we have consciousness. When we didn't have, we need that framework to separate ourselves and be racist and separate ourselves for our skin, or for the way we talk, the way we act, and just be tribalists. We are still tribalists, and this is not the phase that I think humankind needs to be anymore. Well, maybe humankind, but not the species that will come after it. Because I really think that this is not the end of our species. I hope we just do not get extinct. I think we are the cockroaches that we say. If a nuclear war happens, I really think that a group of people will survive, because we are very adaptable. Very. We are great. Our species, they are just great. If you look at it as animals thriving and developing consciousness, you start to love humankind. And that's what I'm trying to do. And when I see the lack of consciousness, I look at it like a dog or a rat with love and compassion and understanding. And when I see that they are fighting each other, and that they are lost with this illusion that they made about success, about life, that makes me very sad, because they could be happy right now, living the moment, but they just put their happiness in a point of the future, and when they achieve that happiness, they don't get happy. They try to force that happiness because that was their goal all their life, about being a doctor, about having a bunch of money. But when they reach it, so what now? I have a different color of shirt, like in the ancient Roman Empire, that this color was only for the emperor. I have a different kind of sneakers and a different kind of car. When someone of a poor people, let's say like that, they do have cars and fridges and beds and houses, and rich people, They have bigger houses and different kinds of cars. This is so ridiculous. This is an absurd. This is ridiculous. This is so primitive. It's so freaking primitive. It's crazy how people just don't see it. Why are you buying? This is. You can tell me that this is a communist talk. I don't care. I never read the manifest, the Communist Manifest. You know why? Because it's so complicated to read. It was from another culture, from another time, for other kinds of people. These thoughts, they are from David's mind, from Brazil, not from the the Soviet Union, that it doesn't even exist anymore. Look, think with me. There are people that don't have houses and they literally die of cold. This is not a reality here in Brazil because we don't have cold that kills people like you guys have. But it's crazy that there are people dying in the street while there are people buying houses that worth 100 houses. This is crazy. This is an absurd. How? How do you live with yourself when you buy a house that's worth 10 houses and you see when you go out in the street someone dying cold? How can you live with yourself when you buy a car that's worth 10 cars and you see someone walking in the street sweating, trying to sell their stuff, you know, when a car could like help his life like 10 times? Or even worse, how can you go in a restaurant and buy something that's worth 10 times the amount of energy that and money that would be to pay to get the energy that I need for my day, and you pay 10 times the price of it? I get it. Yeah, you battled for it, but when I do that and I go outside and I see someone literally dying because they don't have food to eat, and I just paid 10 times the amount that I need daily to feed myself, I feel like trash. And you know why? Because I know how the logistics system works, because I know mathematics, because I know that if I gave that money to that guy that I built with my own work, he could survive for more 10 days. And I still would get something to eat with a lesser amount. And I bought that only because of illusions that we make about reality. I'm sorry. I just spoke my mind off. I will not edit anything. I will just post this video. I don't think anyone will watch it. Besides, I have one friend of mine and my girlfriend Heidi. I hope you are listening to me. And I hope one day my daughter watch those videos too. I really don't know. I'll just keep making these videos every day and just posting and making good descriptions. And I hope someone just watch this. And look, it's not a matter of point of view. It's a matter of understanding. It's a matter of facts and it's a matter of reality. So if you look at my speech and you see that I am wrong, please tell me that I'm wrong. and I will humbly understand and get my speech better because the goal of my life is to build my intellectual values because that's what really am. I'm not this shirt I'm wearing. I'm not these glasses, these broken glasses that I'm wearing. I am this. I am my intellectual values. That's what I am. And that's what you are. You are not your beard, you're not your hair, you're not your house, you're not your car, you're not your job. You are the sum of your intellectual values. And if you don't build it, you will live a life lack of content. Because you could be yourself awesome and you are just lost in an illusion, trying to reach things that are an illusion. Search and build your path for intellectual values, not material values. That is what I learned, and that is what I'm trying to teach you right now. Don't, please, Luna, my daughter, don't build your life seeking for cars and clothes and credibility. Build your path for intellectual values like these, like these that I am exporting to you. This is a fundamental value that I am exporting. And when you import that to yourself, you are the richest girl in the world. Because I will explain you why. Because this is forever. You will export this to another one, and this will be around forever until consciousness exists, and consciousness will always exist. This value that you discovered and imported, that it is you, this will live forever. And if this is what you are, and what you are is the sum of your intellectual values, you will live forever. For those that don't know, Luna is my daughter. She is about to be 1 year 1 year old, and I do not have contact with her because of life problems, as you guys understand how it works. She lives with her mother. It was better this way. But the Luna Foundation, it is very philosophical. The moon is this body that brings us light when it's dark. And if it wasn't for the moon, the we, I wouldn't be here right now. And that's the name of my daughter. Luna Sophia, that means the wisdom of the moon. And I hope one day she sees it and she sees the intellectual values of her father, and she makes me live forever within her. And she sees that I will always be with her. She just needs to keep this, that it is me inside of her, and export that for the others. Because if my intellectual values spread, I will be there because I am literally that. I am not this body of flesh and muscles and bones. I am way more than that. And I want to say to you that you are more than that too. And this is not a mythical thought. This is not a religious talk. This is a logical thought that I reached through a logical path because I am a researcher. I'm not a guru and I am not a cult leader. I am a researcher and I am here to learn and I am here to teach what I learn and more to learn than to teach, more to import than to export. And everything that I import to myself, I am willing to export because that's me. And that way, I will just live forever. And this way, I will break my chains. Do you know why you are a slave? Because you do not see you by who you are. You see you as the illusion that they told you that you are. And you do not export yourself at all. You export your shadow, and you are not your shadow. Because when you talk about stuff, when you try to export anything to another person, you are exporting shadows, superficiality. You are exporting clothes and cars and things that will vanish with time. But you are not exporting who you really are. And this way you will die when you are dead. But if you build your intellectual values and you are here for those you love and spreading this love, this understanding, and your intellectual values that comes with it, and they get those values, you will live forever within them, and they will within you. And this is our reality. And many people understood that in the past. And I do understand it now. And I want you to understand it too. Please share it because that's me and that's you and that's our reality. This is not about humankind. This is not about life. This is about consciousness. Something that we're still trying to understand. And that's my main goal in life, to understand, to spread, and to preserve consciousness as I understand. And in the next videos, I will try to explain everything the way I know, because that's me. And I hope you are able to import my intellectual values because this way you will make me live forever. Thank you guys. Bye. Oh, and don't forget about the potatoes business. If you are here for the first time, I am planting potatoes in my yard. And I plan to make a business out of it. And I need right now fertilizers. They are $3 a sack. And I am linking my PayPal below. So if you have $3 or more, thank you. Bye.